If I were to capture in ink the pictures as they flow in my head, it would all make a very beautiful story. But I'm not out to tell the story, just reliving memories as they pour in the stillness of morning, or sometimes when I steal away from the noise at work, or with others at home. I don't recall what scientists say about the earliest memories a person can remember, but I remember one from when I was about 3 or 4, most likely 3, because my feet then were not really solid on the ground, or maybe I was more bow-legged, which made walking feel more like wobbling. Anyway, it was in that kind of duck waddle I followed you around as you fed the chickens from one side of the large hall the light brown noisy birds were kept, aiming to go all the way to the other end. Oh, the hens could cackle, and that was no fun to me. Neither was it fun that some wanted to eat my toes for reasons I didn't understand. I didn't cry much because I didn't want to leave your side. Yes, I also knew the feeding time would end and it would be back to me getting a shoulder-high ride round the compound at Buba Slope. So I stayed. But you dropped the bucket with the chicken feed, turned, picked me up and settled me outside the gate, near the tree everyone called a Belebo tree. I think it's really almond. You said, "Wait here, I'm coming." I sat. But my patience was as long only as my little height, and I soon stood on tiptoes, stretching to catch a glimpse of you working in the poultry farm. I don't really recall how it happened, but I remember attempting a short jump and landing on the ground. I sustained a cut on my chin. It bled, and this time I screamed. Everyone came running. Some light scolding followed. The wound healed, but the scar remained. I still feel it if I trace it, even though it's no longer visible. A simple lesson came from that, I guess. Waiting is good, most times. Well, as the wheel of life turns, decades later, you were the one who waited. And you almost always did, unless I or any of my siblings stayed out too late for you to be up. And I remember how you waited weeks ago for me to return from a trip and for Samu to visit. You called us on a Sunday and asked when we'd be returning home. We said, next week. And you waited, one last time. You didn't really like hospital trips, but when you saw it was inevitable, you gave in. You had said your thank yous and goodbyes and turned to rest in the God you've always trusted. My father, you've been gone weeks now. Sometimes it's like it's been long. Other times it seems it happened only yesterday. But I'm glad where you are is better. Thank you for life's little lessons and for being the father you were. Kind, thoughtful, firm and patient. God rest your soul, my dear father and friend.